country music, and a whole lot of rain. What a great day it's going to be. I mean, but really, isn't this just the best weather ever? I personally love being sprinkled in rain as I come into school, right? Happy Friday. If you've been with me for a while, you probably remember that the Wonderboard is a beautiful place, but I also get asked a lot of really strange questions on there. And there's also some that I have to just take off because we're not going to talk about that. Without fail, every year somebody will ask how people are made. Every time. And we just casually take that right off the board because that's not something we're going to answer. Okay, I promise that after school I'll fill you in why this is happening, but this is like so exciting I had to tell you right now. These papers are all hot glued on here, and so I thought in order to fix this I'm gonna have to redo the entire thing, including the wallpaper on the back. But look, it peels off. Because this is a little bit slick, the hot glue is peeling off. I think I might be able to peel the paper off without ripping the wrapping paper if I'm careful. Like seriously, that makes me so excited. It's kind of absurd. I'm sorry. I'm done now. Alright, so here we are 1 full week later, and I'm finally getting around to showing you what I did when I peeled everything off the wall, which worked beautifully, by the way. So I'm going to fill you in what I did and how I'm doing my guided reading now, because, you know, at this point I'm basically an expert. Not. But I have spent an inordinate amount of hours working out what I wanted to do for guided reading. So I do definitely have some thoughts and opinions about it. My main opinion is that it works differently for literally everybody. So I'll just show you what I'm doing and hopefully it'll give you some ideas. The guy sweeping the hall probably thinks I'm insane. It's fine. I am. Alright, so after I switched out everything here and had that blessed moment where all peeled off nicely, this is what my new board looks like. So this is just a whiteboard, and I just put magnets on the back of those papers that I had before. I printed all the titles off and hot glued them onto the board. I put up some posters to cover where I accidentally peeled the paper a little bit, and I left them black and white because the background's really colorful. Maybe I'll change that. I don't have a title on here, and this is where, if any of you know where I can get these letters, but that they say read, they were at the Target dollar spot a couple years ago. So if you have access to those, I need them desperately. Send them my way. Anyway, this is what it looks like now, so I'm just going to rotate this so it's ready for today. Let me fill you in on what I am doing to make sure students are accountable to doing work while I am busy working with other students. Okay, so I basically did the same sort of thing last year, but this time it's a little bit more specific to allowing them to have choice within the centers that they're at. So if you forgot, sorry, I'm a little too lazy to walk over there. This is what our centers look like. They now have 9 options, not including writing, that they can choose from. So students are at 4 potential places: reading to themselves, centers, which is choosing something from those drawers, technology, which is doing something on the iPads or Chromebooks, or with me. And when they're not with me, I need to make sure that they're actually doing productive work. So I came up with a system. It is a modified version of what I did last year, and what a lot of students do, where they have kids schedule out where they're going to go for each rotation through the week. We're just not quite there in 2nd grade. But I like them being able to choose what kinds of things they want to do. So this is a mix between the two. So let me show you how it works. So on Monday, each student gets a card that looks like this. And their task is during the week to complete every single one of these boxes. These are self-explanatory. You do it, you stamp it off. These ones are a little bit more complicated. Basically, for word work and spelling, there's at least 3, if not more, choices of what counts for word work or spelling. And I don't care which one they do. They just need to tell me which one they did. So they can do go fish, something out of the word work box, or fidget fluency. You can do magnet spelling, something out of one of the spelling boxes, or zap. I don't care which one they do, but they just need to circle which one they do. Yeah. And that way I can kind of keep track of if somebody's doing the same thing all the time. Maybe I'll suggest that they do something else instead. So yeah, you just caught a glimpse of my super sweet. This is what happens when you do your own nails, guys. Can we focus? There we go. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so every Monday they get this, and by the end of the week, it should look like this. So they circle which activity they did and then stamp it off to make sure they did every single activity they're supposed to do. I am also having them write down one book they read that week just to kind of keep track of what books they're reading, and then their names go right here. So the stamps are available over in the different sections, and they just do each of these assignments. Lexia and Wonders are district programs that we own that help with reading. So those are their choices for those. The one thing that's kind of cool about this is that there's 5 days a week that we're doing these rotations, and so they're at centers 5 days a week. So they feel like they're choosing because they get choice, but also I'm giving them basically an assignment for each of those 5 days. They could be at technology more than 3 days, so I'm giving them a freebie for 2 days to choose whatever they want to do. And most of them are only at Read to Self twice a week, so they read for one of them and do their reading page for the other. These are comprehension pages that I print out to match what we've been learning that week. So this is how I keep them accountable for their work during centers time. And then last year I gave them a piece of candy. This year I'm giving them 5 signatures on their signature card. It's part of my behavior management systems. That's 5 points basically, closer to their prize. So if they turn this completed on Friday, they get to pick up 5 signatures for their card. So that is how guided reading has changed, and it worked really well this week. So I'm excited to see how it goes throughout the year. Also, I don't know how other people do this, but this is how I keep track of my rotations for guided reading. I think I might have shown you the crazy Sudoku looking situation that it was when I was trying to figure it out for 7 groups, 4 days a week. But now we're doing 6 groups, 5 days a week, and this is what it looks like. I started with this. I circled them in different colors to make sure I had all the groups in the right places. I wrote what looks like multiplication problems to calculate how many times people were going to different things. And now this is going to be what I actually keep back there to track where groups are going when. Alright, I'm just going to prop you guys up while I finish grading some things and tell you a story. So I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but one of my favorite things to do is sass my kids a little bit. Not like mean, but we get a little bit ridiculous. Okay, there's some sarcasm floating around in the 2nd grade. And 2 things that I regularly do. If they're like, oh no, I didn't bring this thing, and it honestly doesn't matter, then I'll be like, oh, I'll just have to fire you. That doesn't even mean anything, but it's just fun to say. So I threaten to fire people all the time from who knows what. And the other thing is that I've also told a couple kids, they'll be like, oh, but I didn't grab one, or oh, but I didn't do this, and it doesn't matter. Like I've already said, it's irrelevant if you did this or not. And then I'll say, well, I guess we're just gonna have to feed you to the sharks. It's just something my dad always told us, so I started it here. Anyway, so that's my line, okay? The other day, I don't know what I did. I must have forgotten something or done something wrong, but one of my students was like, well, I guess we're gonna feed you to the sharks. That's my line. But it was actually kind of hilarious. So my students are now threatening to feed me to the sharks. Things are going really well, you know? Okay, I did come up with a fun math project that they did yesterday with the sub. I didn't have time to do it with them, and then it ended up being perfect because I needed to have them do something with the sub. So let me show you what thing I came up with. Okay, so one of the things that we review in 2nd grade is odd and even. They've already learned it in 1st, but we review it. So I came up with the fun idea to do odd and even street, and I will show these to you when I've got them hung up. Ugh, words on Friday, you know. So basically what I did is I messed this up. I was supposed to hand out either an odd or an even, like a little square to them. I forgot, so they just chose. That's fine. So they wrote down if they were making an odd and even house, or they didn't. The student made an odd house, so they wrote down 1 door, 3 windows, 3 balloons, and 3 flowers. That's what their house was going to have, all odd things. And then they made an odd house. And I have a bunch of super cute odd and even houses. And now I'm going to hang those up. Whoa, I can't even pick them up to show you. Hang those up outside my room with the odd and even street labels. I'm finishing my Friday with my feet up on my desk, which I cleaned. Look, I even got rid of the huge pile that was right here. And my other table, which I cleaned, getting ready to close off editing this video for you. And I think I'm ready to call it a night. So this has turned into how I do guided reading, plus some extra snippets for funsies. And that's what it's going to be for you tonight. So if you have any questions about my version of guided reading, or the excessive struggles I have gone through to get to this point, and the chances that I'll switch it again, you just let me know in those comments down below. The chances are high, by the way, if you were curious. And that's all I got for you tonight. So don't forget to subscribe. I appreciate your likes. I'm just doing this for fun, as we all know. It's a hobby. So do what you will. But I will see you next time. See ya. As a quick PS to everything that happened, I'm sitting here watching a movie grading spelling test, and I get to a word that I'm not actually sure how to spell. So I can't really correct spelling tests because I can't spell either. So, you know, that's just how it works sometimes. I've made a grave error of not having the correct spelling list with me because literally every word looks wrong at this point. Did anybody else realize that hiked looks like hicked? Always.